Hello guys and gals, today we're going to be doing an unboxing video and we're going to be unboxing this here, Sidereal Confluence. Now the first thing you'll probably notice looking at this box is it's rather unassuming. There's not really a lot of box art. It's not the kind of thing that's probably going to draw you to it when it's sitting in the shelf. But the game itself, I've been told, is really good. Loads of components inside. Not the best production by WizKids there in the corner, but the game's solid, and we're going to open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so as I said, the front's not so fantastic, but let's have a wee look at the back, and hopefully there'll be a wee bit more information. So, if you haven't kind of figured it out now, it's a space-themed game. And basically the idea is that it's a negotiation game. There's up to 9 alien races and they're all coming together. They're trying to develop technologies, they're trading, they're helping each other out, but they're also trying to push their own agenda. So at its core, it's a negotiation game. It's all really about you know, talking to other players, trying to trade resources and build a little engine. As you can see on the back here, we've got some of the various alien races that you'll be playing, some of the cards, technology cards, and a description of what the game's all about. So the game is by a gentleman called Taichetu Deutschmann. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. Now this copy here, just before we move on, I'll say that it's very difficult to get this in the UK at the moment. There is one website I've found that is open to pre-orders, but the stock, apparently it was supposed to be coming in for about June, but it's now been pushed to August, and I've actually found that you can order this from America, and it's really not much more expensive. And obviously it's available in America. So I've actually bought this copy off of Amazon, and it actually only took about a week to arrive. So yeah, it's actually a good option if you're looking for a game. Sorry about the dogs. If you're looking for the game and you're wanting it a bit sooner, then that might be worth a look if you're in the UK. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to crack this bad boy open. So I'm just going to peel off the cling film here. And you can see at the side we've got, it's 14 plus, so it's a fairly complex game. 49 players, and it plays in approximately 120 minutes, so 2 hours is going to be your average game time, according to the box. So peel off that there, okay, and then we've got the box. I'll just maybe reposition the camera a wee bit, if you just bear with me. I'll just push it down a tad. Sorry, just a wee jump cut there, I had some trouble adjusting the camera. So as you can see, we've got the box here, so I'm just going to lift it open. Now, what I've been told is the production of this game isn't fantastic. The components aren't the best, and for the price, you know, that's maybe a bit surprising, because it's not exactly a cheap game, but I've been told it's a really good game. It's similar to things like Chinatown, if you've ever played that. You know, it's very open negotiation, almost anything can be traded. So we pop open the box, what do we get? The first thing we've got here is the manual, which is a nice good size. There's actually not that many pages to the manual. Nice colourful illustrations, actually looks fairly clear. There, yeah. Obviously I'll need to have a wee read of that. But it actually looks like the manual's pretty good, so that's a good start. You can see we've got a couple of punch boards with the tokens. So these are, I think, victory point tokens here. So again, they're, you know, the graphic design's okay, nothing too fancy, quite clear to see what they are. So those 2 punch boards worth of that. We then have here, let's see, now I believe these here on the right are ships. I think they're used as currency. And then on the left here, I don't know if this is a technology or some sort of, yeah. So I'm not too sure about that. There you go. Now again, we've got some more ships here. We've got some, I think these will be abilities for the various different races, because they're all unique, they all have their own powers. I think this token here will be for a specific alien race. Another punch board here. I'm not sure what these are. More ships. And multiplier tokens, and yet another kind of tile of some sort. Okay, now here we've got the alien the aliens that you play. So basically each alien comes with its own sheet that basically gives you the rules of the alien, gives you a wee bit of backstory, and it basically tells you how they play, you know. It gives you some wee tips when it comes to Confluence, you know, so a few tips on how you would maybe do well with them. So we've got here the Imdral Nomads. So those guys are kind of like, they're kind of weird kind of bird serpent things, quite odd. Unity, which I'm not really sure what they are. Are they sentient ships? Are they this weird kind of tentacle thing in the background? I don't even know. So yeah, they've got computer worlds. That sounds pretty cool. So there you go. We've got the Fidarian Conclave. Oh, and it also gives you a difficulty as well. So if you're a new player, then, or if you're playing with new players, then you can maybe give them some races that are a wee bit more straightforward to play. Now this race obviously uses that big yellow token that we've seen earlier in the punch board, and I guess they're kind of bipedal, so kind of like humanoid android thingies. Yeah, most human, the ones we've seen so far. Okay, this one here, the Zenth, is it Anocracy? Anocracy? Zeth. So you can see here, this is the one that had their own separate tokens, and they look a wee bit like, they're kind of, I don't know, eyeball tentacle monster things, you know, like an Eye of Beholder almost, kind of, but not floating. They've got envoys, and they can steal things, and they've also got rackets, so they seem like pretty shifty, to be honest. Difficulty 3-star, I wonder what the star is. So yeah, pretty cool. We've then got, I'm just having a look here, I haven't even got an attempt to translate, to try and pronounce this one, sorry. The Class Jave Callium Directorate, or KJ, I just call them KJAS, yeah, that's easier. Military Might, Territory, Expansionist, so they seem quite militaristic, yeah, and again the race, they look like kind of, I don't know, kind of dinosaur, kind of reptilian dinosaur kind of things, something like Mass Effect, that kind of thing. Cool. Then we've got the Eni et Ascendancy. Very difficult to play apparently, and basically they are squids, space squids. They've got interest converters, they've got wild resources, and there's a big section here for advice. So I think these guys must be quite hard to play. So there you go, but they're pretty cool looking, I like the look of them. Then got the kit, which is, you know, the kind of token insect race. In most of these kind of space themed games you always get an insect race. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the full name, but we'll just call them the kit. They're difficulty 1, so they're maybe quite straightforward to play. They've got non-linear thinking, null space drive, some pretty cool sounding techs. So yeah, that might be a good race for a new player. So our 8th one, we've got the Yengi Society, difficulty 6. Alright, okay, so it goes above 5. So these guys are really hard to play, and they're secretive. They can license out their technology. Alright, okay, so I think these guys, they're kind of crystal monsters, and they're quite good at maybe trading tech or licensing out their tech for other players to use, and then kind of profiting off of that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then finally, we've got the, is it the Kalian, Plutocracy. There's lots of crises in this game. Difficulty 2, these are the kind of plant, you know, the plant aliens, you know, like the Arborek if you've ever played Twilight Imperium. So what have they got? Well, they're all about colonisation, as you probably would expect. They've got seedling tokens, and yeah, so you're kind of typical plant race, I suppose. So again, difficulty 2, so it would be quite easy to play, hopefully. Okay, so those are your races in the game. What else do you get in the box? Well, first of all, you get some screens for all the individual races, and I think this is to kind of hide your victory points. From what I believe, all the other resources in the game are open and completely tradable, but victory points aren't, and they're supposed to be hidden. So they'll be used for hiding your victory points. So pop them over in the top lid. We also have a big bag of cubes. with the silica gel inside. Yep, and these are basically the resources. There are two different sizes of cubes, small cubes and large cubes, and there are 3 different colours of each. And there's also these cylinders, I think these wee brown cylinders that you can see there. They're another resource as well. So again, components, yeah, the cubes, it's fine. I mean, there's quite a lot of them, so you know, it makes sense for this game. You know, and I suppose with all the different aliens, you know, having, you know, something that's a bit more kind of, you know, unique, really, it's, you know, it's fine for what it is. You know, you mean, they probably represent certain things. You know, I'm sure the manual will tell you that white is food and blue is like tech and yellow's maybe, I don't know, who knows, gold, space gold, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because, you know, it's all about trading, so cubes are fine, you know. I'm not going to go mental with the theme here. Finally, we've got cards, and as you can see here, we've got 4 decks of cards, lots and lots and lots of them, and these are the kind of you know, what you'll be using in the game mainly for your, you know, conversions. So the game's all about, you know, you'll basically have it's like an input output. So you'll take one resource and you'll convert it into other resources. So this here will take 4 brown cubes, 4 small brown cubes, and convert it to 2 large gold cubes or large yellow cubes, a large black cube, and a small green cube. And it tells you here at the bottom, you'll see 4.5 to 5.5. So that basically tells you what the trade value is. So the small cubes, large cubes, cylinders, they all have a value, and I think the ships do as well. And it's just to kind of help new players get an idea of how efficient the techs are. You know, so when you run your engine, how much you benefit you're getting from that, really. So yeah, and you'll see that I think a lot of the cards here. We'll just crack one of these open. You know, they're all quite bare looking like this, you know. There's not a lot of variation between them. I think they're just smooth, slightly different colours for the different. So you can see, there you go. This is obviously the kind of the space squids race. I think this is all their techs. You can see here's one here that's 3 black cubes to a cylinder, a white or a green small cube, and then a big blue cube. Yeah, this one here gets you ships. This one here, I don't know what the purple bit is there. And the white arrow, I think, means that it happens at the start of the turn in the economy phase, and then the purple arrow is for things that happen during the trade phase, for actually while you're trading with other players. Okay, so you can see that there, and then we've got the red text here. So each alien is its going to own set of text, and I think that if you look at the top right here, there's different levels as well. So presumably the blank ones are the ones you start off with, and the level ones are available at the start of the game. I don't know what the stars are all about. Who knows? Donations. Oh yeah. And this is obviously a wee reference card here. So the turn, basically, the sequence of the turn is you do your trade. You trade with other players. You can trade almost anything except victory points. Economy is when you run your engines. Yep, so basically you take all your inputs, get all your outputs, and Confluence is where you share technologies, generate VPs, bid for colonies using your ships, research things, and then the Zeth can also steal as well. Okay, so that's basically, so that's one deck there. So I'm just going to sit that back in the box. Well, maybe have a wee quick look at the other decks to see some of the other cards. I don't think there's really that many different types of cards, but we'll have a look. So open this. It's really easy to open these, actually. I really like it when they put these wee, these wee kind of tabs just with the, with the kind of foil string thing, just so it's easy to open them. So these, I believe, are your colonies. So these basically just produce resources, and you bid for these during that confluence phase using your ships. So you can see there, and they've all got different names, but again, they just look, the graphic design's okay. It's quite clear what everything does, I think, but it's not like the nicest looking game. I think it also takes up a lot of space on the table as well. So you got purple text here. I don't know if they're just kind of general ones. There's bidding tracks for your bidding. Research team, bid tracks. These are kind of the general things. Different cards for different player counts as well. These I think are these are used for every round. I think that's how many victory points you get for sharing the tech. It's like a bonus you get, and the earlier you share tech, the more points you get, from what I believe. And then these are these are just the cards for the races, telling you what you start with. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's that there. We'll have a quick look at the other cards. You know, I don't think there's really going to be much we haven't seen. We'll have a quick look. These, okay, so again you've got your green text for your green race, blue text here, again you've got another reference card, yellow, relic work deck. Ooh, that must be a separate deck, that must be something for the, I think it's for that race. So they've got a unique mechanic where they've maybe got a separate deck that lets them trade stuff, I don't know, into these tokens, presumably, who knows, you need to look up the rules. Okay, that's all the yellow stuff, and then we're on to the blue. Okay, so again, those are just mainly text, lots and lots and lots of cards, so not one you're probably likely to sleeve anytime soon. And finally, what have we got on this deck here? We have the grey text. Okay, nanotechnology, genetic engineering. Okay, yep, so just more text, more text, more text, another reference card, tech, and I think there's a few colonies here at the end again, yeah, so there are your colonies that give you free stuff, and you can upgrade them. So I think your colony, this colony here, for example, Wenzin, at the start of the game, it just gives you a brown cube, but if you upgrade it during the upgrade phase, then it will give you a black cube, and it will also give you whatever that token is there. I'm not too sure if it's a ship or some sort of, yeah, but basically I think you pay this, you pay a black during the trade phase to upgrade it, and then from then on it will give you it'll basically upgrade the colony, so it gives you a better production. Okay, brilliant. Okay, and I think that's it. So that is Sidereal Confluence. So this is my first video. I'm really just doing this as a kind of test to see how the setup works with the camera and the microphone. So in the future I might be looking to do some you know, videos, maybe some how to play, teaching the games, or maybe even some solo plays of things, because I don't know how useful the unboxings are. I had a look online and I think there's only one other unboxing video of this. If you want a wee bit more information about the game, about how it plays, then I could suggest you have a wee look at Shut Up and Sit Down's excellent review. And there's also No Pun Included, have done a review of this, and both very favourable. So worth a look if you're interested. It's a negotiation game, it's all about trading and interactions with other players. From what I hear, there's very little downtime, because you're always wheeling and dealing, you're looking at what other people are doing. I've played games that are similar to this, mainly Chinatown, which is a game I really enjoy, and I think that actually is very hard to get at the moment. So this one is definitely worth a look if you're into that kind of game. And it's a good player count as well. It'll play anything from 4 up to 9. So if you've got a lot of players, then it's maybe a good game, because of the simultaneous nature of it, the fact that everyone's trading at the same time. It's probably less prone to being bogged down with more players and AP kind of slowing the game right down. So it might be one to consider if you've got lots of players and you want a game that's got lots of interaction, but at the same time is a Euro and without too much randomness, So yeah, definitely worth a look. So again, that was Sidereal Confluence. Okay, hope that video has helped. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye!